Hey, hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name's Lauren. If you're new here, I used to be a librarian. Now I talk about books on the internet. And for today's video, I have my Book Lovers Day, not vlog, Book Lovers Day haul. We have quite a lot to get through. So if you're not familiar, Book Lovers Day was held on August 9th. And I don't know if the date is always the same or if it's just always like the first Saturday in August. Not really sure. I don't know where it started. But it's basically a national holiday for book lovers. And lots of indie bookstores all across the country were holding different events for book lovers. They had signings, there were bingo boards, there were sales. There's still some sales going on. I know Libro FM was doing some free audiobooks, so I'm hoping they're still available so I can check that out today because I did not have time yesterday at all. So yeah, I indulged a lot. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have like 8 bags to get through. One is technically a Michael's bag. 3 bags are from the same place. 2 bags are from the same place. So like, I want to say it's not as bad as it sounds, but like maybe it is. I'll insert a picture of my lineup of bags over here. I lined them up from like in order so that we can just like go in order and talk about all the places I went. So my first stop of the day was Little Fox Bookstore. It's in Hanover, Pennsylvania. It was my first time ever going there. I didn't take very good B-roll because I went in the morning and they have story time on Saturdays in the morning. It's like I wanted to hit as many places as possible. Future me, wait until like 11:30 to go there on a Saturday. Like, yeah. Because there were a lot of little people having a good time. But that's okay. So my first stop was Little Fox. They had a pop-up event with 7th Shelf, or I should have went earlier, honestly. So they had a pop-up event with 7th Shelf, which is a new romance bookstore that's opening in Hanover on September 7th. Mark your calendars. If you're local or if you're not local, come visit. Because the owner, her name was Tiffany, I think. She seems so nice, and she had a pretty good selection of books on her table. I missed out on the blind date with the books because your girl likes to sleep on Saturdays. So anyway, I got 2 books from her, which are in here, and I'm so excited. So this one is actually book 2, The Geographer's Map to Romance. I have book 1. What's it called? The Ornithologist Field Guide to Love. I got that one from Book of the Month a while ago. And I definitely want to pick it up. And this is a gorgeous copy. And I think this was the only Penguin Random House book I got all day. Whatever. But anyway, I basically asked her for a recommendation. And her table was kind of picked over. So I feel really bad for asking that. But, you know, whatever. 2 of the books on the table I had read. And based off of that, she recommended this book. So I think I'm going to have to give it a try. We'll give this series a try. And then I saw a copy of this one, Not in My Book, by Katie Holt. It's a book-focused romance novel. And actually, I'm just reading this in the back. Rosie writes romance novels and listens to Taylor Swift on loop. Aiden is a literary fiction writer who doesn't believe in happy endings. They're about to write a book together. What could go wrong? The Hating Game, which I love, meets Beach Read, also love, in this sexy and hilarious enemies to lovers romance from a debut Peruvian Tennessean voice. Anyway, the cover is just so stinking cute. And it's a little romance. It's an indie next book. I'm excited to give this one a try. So my first purchases of the day were romance books. That just feels really on brand for me. Little Fox. Like I said, it was their story time when I was there. So their first level has all their newer books, and the second level has sort of overflow and some used books. So I went upstairs and looked through the used books while I waited. I got like a strawberry matcha while I was there. So I waited for the matcha and waited for story time to be over so I could peruse downstairs And while I did that, I looked at the used books. So let me pull all of my purchases from Little Fox. So used book wise, I got 3 used books. So the first book is this one. It's called New York Beautiful, Wallace Nutting. So he is an artist from time period. This was copyrighted in 1927. So Wallace Nutting is an artist, an American artist, and I don't know if they're paintings or photography. But my grandmother collected these pictures and I always really liked them, and she actually gifted me 2 Wallace Nutting pictures. Maybe I'll put in like a little clip of one. But they're basically landscapes and they're really pretty. So when I saw this book of his art and his thoughts about New York, I thought I should just pick it up. Also, who doesn't love an old school looking book? So that was a no-brainer. And then I also picked up this one. It's Shakespeare's Heroines, Characteristics of Women, Moral, Political, and Historical. So this is a book about all of Shakespeare's heroines and like what they do in the books. So it's divided up into different like sections. We've got characters of intellect, characters of passion and imagination, characters of the affections, historical characters, and then each character gets their own like section of pages. So we've got Merchant of Venice with Portia, we've got Much Ado About Nothing, Beatrice, we've got Romeo and Juliet, we've got all kinds of different Shakespeare plays and like an analysis of the women in the plays. Honestly, I just thought it was cool. As an English major, former English major, I thought it was kind of cool, and it might be fun to go through and read some of these analyses of Shakespeare. And then I also found a used copy of One of Us is Dead by Geneva Rose. I read her newest release last month and I really liked it, and it was my first Geneva Rose. So I've been kind of shopping around and looking for copies of her other releases so that I can try some of her other books. So I picked up this one. Then new book wise, I accidentally picked up 5. So first, this cover just got me. It's called Margot's Got Money Troubles by Ruthie Thorne. Look at the cover. And the little blurb up top says, a bold, laugh out loud, funny, and heartwarming story about one young woman's attempt to navigate adulthood, new motherhood, and her meager bank account in our increasingly online world. From the Penn Faulkner finalist and critically acclaimed author of The Knockout Queen. So this is like a late 20s, early, 20s. So this is about like a young woman in her 20s kind of trying to find her way. Also, like I said, the cover just really spoke to me. Another cover by, this one's called Automatic Noodle by Anna Lee Newitz. This is a tour novella, so no surprise here that I absolutely needed it. It's a cozy near future novella about a crew of leftover robots opening their very own noodle shop. You don't have to eat food to know the way to a city's heart is through its stomach. So when a group of deactivated robots comes back online in an abandoned ghost kitchen, they decide to make their own way, doing what they know, making food, the tastiest hand-pulled noodles around for the humans of San Francisco who are recovering from a devastating war. But when the robots run business starts causing a stir, a targeted wave of 1-star reviews threatens to boil over into a crisis. To keep their doors open, they'll have to call on their customers, their community, and each other to find a way to survive and thrive in a world that wasn't built for them. It's giving me Monk and Robot vibes, but like a little bit different. Maybe mixed a little bit with, what's that cafe? Like the cozy Japanese, the Food Detectives? Is that what it's called? It's giving those kind of vibes. It's also blurbed by Martha Wells, so I think that is promising. I'm excited to give that a try. And then I went out with the intention of trying to pick up local authors or indie authors while I was out. So I picked up this trilogy. It is a dragon series. So we've got Dragon's Pick, the Dorothea and Browen trilogy. So this is Dragon's Pick. We've got Dragon's Fall and Dragon's Lost. So Dragon's Pick is, and they are all signed and they're local. So we have each spring, the small village of Villa Ova in the land of Lamarus fills with excitement and anticipation as dragon eggs mysteriously appear in the beautiful ivory forest and are taken to the town square for the hatching. Visitors and young men from all over the countryside arrive and wait for their female dragons to emerge from their eggs and choose their male riders. Very rarely do male dragons appear, but for the first time in 25 years, one hatches and to everyone's surprise chooses 18-year-old Dorothea as his rider. Dorothea must leave her home and family and travel with her young dragon Browen and the 3 boys chosen to become riders to Castle Draco to begin their training. Dorothea quickly learns that she must become as strong as the boys or she will lose her place as a rider, and worse yet, she will be forced to give up her dragon forever. So that is interesting. And it's a whole trilogy. I picked up the first book and I was like reading the description and I browsed a little bit of the first chapter and then I was like, what do I do with this? Do I just buy book 1 and then, like the responsible thing, buy book 1 and then if I like it, go back for more? Or do I anticipate wanting to read the whole, like binge the whole thing? Because they're not very long. Obviously I picked that. So I got all 3. Okay, so for the next stop in my bookstore, Book Lovers Day extravaganza, I went to Rudolph Girls. I got a t-shirt. They are located in Westminster and they are a women-owned bookstore and they have a dog named Neptune and he is so cute. I didn't get a picture. I don't know why. So what's really cool about that store is that it's mainly a bookstore, but then there are also like little rooms that have other small businesses in them. So one of the small businesses is Tidal Salt, and I've actually gotten some stuff from them before, but I saw this little sweatshirt and I was like, you're coming home with me. I support women's rights and wrongs. It's gonna be my new uniform because it's so cute. And I actually also got some stickers. I think they are hers as well, but I'm not sure. But I got 3 stickers. So I got Everything Scares Me, but I will do it anyway. Patriarchy, total bullshit, do not recommend. And I got In a Really Good Place Right Now. In my book, of course, not mentally. Ah, focus. Cute. So I got those 3 stickers. And I am going to link all the businesses and places that I went down below in the description in case you see anything that you're interested in. I'm pretty sure all of these businesses have like online like store. I am in my like picking up business cards era because how else am I gonna know about you if I don't take the business card home? So from Little Fox, they had like little baked goods from the Grazing Otter. That's so cute. Can't see it. And then Rudolph Girls actually had this table when you walked in and they had mimosas and they had bundt cakes and chocolate and florals. So the cakes were from Midnight Magic Cake Company, so I'll link them. And then I've got Tidal Salt. And then the other place that was in there was a candle company, and she is called Viola's Vault. I will link her, obviously. So first of all, I saw the candles and I was like, I love candles and I love hand poured candles, and they usually just work better for me than like Bath and Body Works or like store bought candles because they're just not as chemical heavy. So the first one was Love Letters. This is lychee, pear, lotus, and musk, and they're in a little jar, and it has her little emblem on the side. And these were on sale yesterday for Romance Book Day. And then I also got, because who doesn't love a fall candle? This one is Autumn in Westminster. It has apple, honey, anise, cinnamon, and pine. The freebie, I got a little tea light that has pumpkin crunch in it. And then I was so excited because I was having these issues where every time I left the house, my face would like swell up like it was having an allergic reaction. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is happening? Like, am I allergic to the sun now? Am I allergic to leaving the house? Whatever. So my mom actually was like, well, what about the air freshener in your car? Like, maybe it's that. So I took my air freshener out, and the last couple times that I've left the house, I haven't had this problem, which is great. But also, I kind of want like a fun smell in my car. So when I saw that she had handmade diffusers, I was like, sign me up, I'm buying those. So I got a peach one, and then I got this one. It's Moonlight Tide. Don't look at my face. And the cute little glass jars that have just like fragrance in them, and you take the stopper out and you hang it, and let me tell you what, my car smells like episode 5 of The Summer I Turned Pretty. Like, it smells like a peach. It just smells super peachy, and it's so good. So, shirts, candles. Now to the book stuff. So they have new books, and they have like a used book room, and I really, again, I pick up free flyers. I really hit up the used book room because there were a lot of good things. So let me put these in order. Okay, so used book room wise, I got Why Are You Like This by Meg Adams. This is a cutesy little graphic novel about adulthood. Like, who doesn't want that? So cute. $4. And then I have Honor Girl. This is a graphic novel by Maggie Thrash. This was, again, $4. And this is like a YA graphic novel about a girl who goes to a summer camp and finding herself. And then I got this one, The Red Widow by Sarah Horowitz. This was $4. And this is The Scandal That Took Paris and the Woman Behind It All. So this is like a nonfiction historical book. And then I have The Witches Are Coming by Lindy West. This one was $2. And this is, again, another nonfiction. So from the moment powerful men started falling to the Me Too movement, the lamentations began. This is feminism gone too far. This is injustice. This is a witch hunt. In The Witches Are Coming, firebrand author of the New York Times bestselling memoir and now critically acclaimed Hulu TV series Shrill, Lindy West turns that refrain on its head. You think this is a witch hunt? Fine, you've got one. In a laugh-out-loud, incisive cultural critique, West extols the world-changing magic of truth, urging readers to reckon with dark lies in the heart of the American mythos, and unpacking the complicated and sometimes tragic politics of not being a white man in the 21st century. She tracks the misogyny and propaganda, hidden or not so hidden, in the media she and her peers devoured growing up. A buffet of distortion, delusions, prejudice, and outright bullshit that has allowed white male mediocrity to maintain a death grip on American culture and politics. And that delivered us to this precarious, disorienting moment in history. So that sounds super exciting. This bookstore had a lot of very like female empowerment type books, which I love. And then I also got The Risk It Takes to Bloom on Life and Liberation by Raquel Willis. This is another memoir, $4. And this is about a woman who basically just finds herself in community. And then as far as new books are concerned, I picked up Most Ardently, a Pride and Prejudice remix by Gabe Cole Nova. queer Pride and Prejudice retelling. I think we have Mr. Darcy and Oliver Bennett. And there's a whole series of remixed classics. Interesting. So I have that. And then I have this one. It's called Night Flyer by Tia Miles, Harriet Tubman and the Faith Dreams of a Free People. But this book is about the history of Harriet Tubman, and she is kind of local to Maryland. And I know that this bookstore, they have an event coming up in October where they're actually going on a bus trip to where Harriet Tubman was from. So this is basically the book that they'll be following along with for that. So when I saw this, I was like, this is actually kind of interesting and probably a good thing to be reading. Oh, I did pick up a Penguin Random House book yesterday. Look at me go. And then I got 2 indie books while I was there. So we have Taproot by Kathy Mangan. This is a little poetry collection. I absolutely am obsessed with this cover, so I knew I just had to pick that up. And then I have this one. This sounds really fun. It's called Lazarus City, book 1 by Melissa Peterson Lewis. Me and books with skulls on the cover. It just really speaks to me. So this is Baltimore crumbles under a blood-borne pathogen. To contain the deadly virus, the government closes the city's borders, trapping survivors and the violent infected inside. Shelby relies on her husband Dean to guide them through this insane nightmare. But when Dean goes missing during a stampede of infected at Camden Yards, Shelby finds herself alone. Determined to find her sister and carve out some sense of safety, Shelby joins a local group of vigilantes, but she must prove her worth before they'll agree to help. Dean wakes after the stadium infected, but different. Unlike the mindless monsters that stalk the evening streets, he's aware of his actions, and he's stronger, more alert, and capable. Under a moonlit sky, Dean discovers a secret society filled with others like him. He seeks order amidst the chaos though quickly learns some leaders thrive on anarchy. A new Baltimore emerges from the wreckage, and it has a taste for blood. So that sounds really interesting. A zombie, like, plague type thing. Mystery, intrigue, I'm in. Okay, next we have the Barnes & Noble haul. So first on my list, they had an author that was signing. So this Barnes & Noble opened last week, so they've been doing a lot of signings. So I saw this author there, and I was like, you know what? We're going to go up to them, and we're going to be like, hi. So the book is called His Face is the Sun by Michelle Jabe Corpora, maybe. It's got beautiful sprayed edges. We have this gorgeous map. And she pitched it to me as Egyptian Game of Thrones. But let's read the description real quick. Tensions run as hot as the Kemsin wines. I can't read today. Tensions run as hot as the Kemsin winds in the great kingdom of Katara. Rumors of the pharaoh's mysterious illness abound, and with them, murmurs of rebellion grow. Meanwhile, in the quiet desert, a forgotten oracle begins to unfold, setting a dark prophecy into action and drawing together 4 strangers. It's run hot as the Kemsin winds in the great kingdom of Katara. Rumors of the pharaoh's mysterious illness abound, and with them, murmurs of rebellion grow. Meanwhile, in the quiet desert, a forgotten oracle begins to unfold, setting a dark prophecy into action, drawing together 4 strangers. Princess Sita lives in the abundance of the palace, and in a moment of passion, she unmasks a betrayal that will put her life and the entire royal court in grave danger. A priestess in training, Neve strives to understand her intense visions from the gods, except theirs is not the only magic at play in the Grand Temple. As a farmer's daughter, Rey knows how much the pharaoh's men have taken from her land, her people. Still, who will step forward and confront the king? Karam was raised among the pyramids of the Redlands and survives on the wealth of the dead as a tomb robber. That's the character I'm super excited about. But amid the spoils, an ancient evil awakens. Bloodshed is coming. Only together do these four have a potential to save the kingdom from destruction. But when the dust is settled, who will sit on the throne of Kitara? So it is signed to me, which is so exciting. And she said the new book, I think, comes out in May. And I want to say she said it was a trilogy, maybe a quartet. I don't quite remember. But we have like gorgeous page design, and each character has a different page design, which is so fun. So I'm really excited to get to that soon. Next, I have this super cute sunglasses bookmark. That was an impulse purchase, but it screams Connie baby, so I bought it. And then let me get all the books out of here. I went a little wild. It happens. Whoops. So this is from Barnes & Noble. So I got Reading Like a Writer, a guide for people who love books and for those who want to write them, by Francine Prose. This sounded super interesting. It's basically a writer telling us. This is a book by a writer about how to basically read text to help make your writing better. And I thought that was super fun, and I want to get back into writing at some point this year, so if I collect enough books like this, maybe it'll happen. And then I have this. I've never heard of this before. It's called Bound by Earth and Ice. Volumes, oh, this is volume 2. So I'm gonna have to get volume 1 before I read it. It's by Megan Adams. Basically, I saw that it was signed, and I was like, you know what? Let's do it. But now I'm gonna have to order volume 1. But it sounded really good. So we have Everin and Delric have completed the blood binding ritual to unite their powers in the eyes of the gods, and couldn't be happier. When it's discovered the leader of the Raven Fae, Hadian Alric, has been secretly working with Everin's deceased father to ship weapons to Elodora, they decide to search for the reason why by traveling to the harsh Snowhaven Fae territory north of the Cannon Mountains. However, Alex's shadow magic has a mind of its own. Day by day, Delric slowly loses himself to the strength of the shadows. Like, I just read that much and I was hooked. Ancient relics, blood binding magic, the powers above alone hold the key. So I'm gonna have to pick up book 1. I don't want to talk about it. And then I did pick up a copy of My Oxford Year by Julia Whalen. I read this on KU and I really enjoyed it, and I wanted a physical copy so I could annotate it. So here she is. Then I also picked up a copy of Late Bloomer by Maisie Eddings. I have her new book coming to me from Aardvark, so I decided I needed her backlist as well because I'm going to love it. I love her social media presence, so I needed this. Also, look how cute. And then I picked up A Tale of Mirth and Magic by Kristen Bale. This is a new release. Oh, the corner is crunched, but that's okay. The cover still looks beautiful, and it's just everything that I need. A cozy adventure of enchantment, friendship, and unexpected love. And then I picked up The Unworthy by Augustina Bazcherica. She's the author of Tender is the Flesh. This is apparently a Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, so I guess it's the black sprayed edges. But, oh, okay. And the flaps. And it's a Tor Nightfire. No, it's a Scrivener book. Anyway, the description kind of got me on this one. From her cell in a mysterious convent, cloistered away from the climate catastrophe that has plunged the world into chaos, a woman writes the story of her life in whatever she can find. Discarded ink, dirt, and even her own blood. A lower member of the Sacred Sisterhood, deemed unworthy, she dreams of ascending to the ranks of the Enlightenment at the center of the convent, and of pleasing the forbidden superior sister. But when a strange newcomer joins the ranks of the unworthy, the narrator is forced to consider the long-buried past as she grows closer to the newcomer. She is increasingly haunted by questions that she can no longer ignore. How did she get to this sacred sisterhood? Why can't she remember her life before? And what really happens when a woman is chosen to be enlightened? If you never read Tender as the Flesh before, it's about eating people. But it's so disturbing, but so good and so well written. And she really packs a lot into a short book. So I just needed it. And then finally, I did pick up My Life with the Walter Boys by Ellie Novick. This was kind of an impulse purchase. I feel like because of The Summer I Turned Pretty, and maybe even because of this book, even though I haven't watched the movie yet, I feel like I'm going to be in my book to movie adaptation era. So I picked this up in anticipation of wanting to watch more teen romances. Makes sense. Okay, and then my Barnes & Noble is right next door to a Michael's, so I went in. I was wearing my Belly looking shirt, Belly from The Summer I Turned Pretty, and I took pictures. I took pictures in the floral aisle. Okay, I am every other girl. But anyway, I did not buy any florals. I actually picked this up. They have Halloween book nooks at Michael's, okay? This is the Apothecary kit. It was $30, so I certainly did not pillage corporate America. Corporate America pillaged me with this one. But it says it lights up, and I'm really excited to try this. I have a couple other book nook kits that I have not put together yet. Sorry. From Michael's, so I'm excited to give this a try and put this together and have this spooky little book nook. And then finally, I did a lot of damage here. So on the way home, I went to the grocery store, and next to the grocery store is one of my favorite thrifting stores because they have books for 99 cents. And I know they hate to see me coming because this is a bag full of Harlequin Presents books. We're just going to rapid fire these. I pretty much bought them all because they're $1. So for $20, I got a bag of 1990, 1989, early 90s Harlequin Presents books. To me, they're collectible. To the world, who knows? So we have It All Depends on Love. Please focus on the book. We have A Summer Storm. Okay. We have A Love to Last. Devil in Paradise. Duel of Passion. Look at this. I want to go there. Dawn of Desire. This is an Avon book, I think. Yeah. I think I ripped the back. But look at this. And we have some OG sprayed edges. This is from $1976. Like, are these gonna be the most is that like a ship? This is an Egyptian romance. Then we have High Haven. This looks like a billionaire romance. Then we have Mr. Family. Like, these are not going to be the most progressive romances. And will they be problematic? Yeah, probably. Like, I don't love to see that in modern literature, but, you know, look at the dog. It's so cute. We have The Jewels of Helen. Tour the world in luxury first class. The exotic armchair travel plans from Harlequin Romance. Oh, she's a spoiled brat. You don't say. Master of Glen Cranach. Oh, this is a Scottish Highlands romance. So I butchered that name, but that's fine. We have Arrogant Interloper. Father's Day. A boy, a man, and a dog. Oh, I see the dog. He's down there. Unfriendly proposition. He had a weakness for attractive women. The Dark Viscount. This is a Harlequin Regency romance. Okay, and then I picked up a copy of The Notebook because we've been talking about it so much with, oh my gosh, look at this bookmark. It's so old. And then we've got a phone number in here. This poor book has seen better days. But, what was I gonna say? I picked this up because people have been talking about it in relation to The Summer I Turned Pretty, and I haven't read this in like years. So will I read it again? I don't know, but maybe. So we have Love is in the Cards, Garden of Eden, A Casual Affair, and Shattered Trust. So I maybe picked up like 45 books yesterday. Whoops. Whoopsies. So I'm going to be on a book buying ban for the rest of the month. Whoops. Okay, so anyway, that was my Book Lovers Day haul. If you went out for Book Lovers Day, let me know, what did you pick up? Did you find any good deals? Meet any good authors? Maybe you picked up some fun bookish merch along the way. I want to know all the things. And I'm going to link all of these small businesses down below. Please support small business. You won't be disappointed. I think that's it for now. I need to go edit this video because it was really long. 40 books long. And I will just see you in whatever comes next.